Well, hello, traders and investors. I'm LA Little, and this is your daily NeoTA wrap. We take a look at these markets, doing it from a neoclassical perspective. That means each time we're asking ourselves what happened today and what might it tell us about the coming ones. We do a show 4 times a week, every Monday through Thursday. It's broadcast at or before 10 o'clock Eastern Time. It's archived on YouTube, and it's on our channel, LA Little. If you want to subscribe, just reach up in the right-hand corner, do so. Anytime I push public content, you'll get a notification. As far as the weekend show, has there been a change? We're not doing the Sunday show anymore. I think there's plenty of time during the week to cover what needs to be covered. And so that Sunday show, as of last Sunday, didn't do one last night. As of last Sunday, that is it for the Sunday show. So hope that's not an inconvenience. We'll pick up some of that weekly, monthly type stuff intra-week, during the weeks, the weekdays. And I believe that will serve us fine for what we need. As far as what happened, let's look at the market today. We were down across the board. Came back at the end of the day. The buyers just keep crawling back in. You knock it down, you come back. You knock it down, you come back. And the whole thing is this thing wants to resolve to the upside, period. That's just the way it is. And everything we see neoclassically is telling us that. It hasn't changed. Gold gets hit a little bit on some dollar strength, same with silver. Oil up again. Oil is bottom, folks. It's over. If you're not exposed to the oil market, you probably need to find a way to do so. We are so in our portfolio, got more exposed, or actually looking at more exposure at this point in time. Bonds down, as I said, across the board on the indexes. We had Asia up, playing catch up to Wall Street last week. They got a nice little bump. We had the CACs up slightly, same with the Swiss. I believe the Swiss was up today. Yeah, there it is. It was up as well. We actually had strength in the dollar. Germany was closed. Let's take a look at the charts and see what we got here. So we're going to start with, actually I'm doing a show a little bit early again tonight. So we're going to look at the SPY to start with. I'm going to pop it in on the daily. Hammer reversal on the SPY. Lighter volume. I suspect you're going to see lighter volume on the indexes too. It looked that way all day today. This is building the case to get higher. The issue is to get over this one area that we're still hanging around, and that's this bar's top. And we got to get over that price point. That's the spot you have to get over. And when you get over it, right, then there's nothing up there after that, and then you can make your move. We got over it once, came right back into it immediately. This is a clue that it wants to resolve in the direction of the longer-term trend, which is to the upside. And there's nothing in this trading that's suggesting otherwise. Every time it comes down, you see the buyers come in, you get these little long candles. You've had a couple of long candles on the tops, but mostly you see it on the bottoms. That's where the long candles, the little wicks are up atop, and the long ends of the candles is at the bottoms. That's usually a bullish thing. I don't see anything here to make me think otherwise. If we go and look at the index itself, let's pull over now that we've seen the volumes. Here's the index, what it looks like. There's that hammer reversal we're talking about. I suspect this tomorrow is going to try to push back up into this area and try to get over it. NASDAQ, if we look at the NASDAQ, over here we have the same sort of thing, a little doji. It was an inside day, but a little doji sitting there, so nothing special here. Again, inside day doesn't tell you much, but it's inside on an uptrend. Makes me think that there's nothing different there than what we're seeing on the SPX. And if we go over the Russell, look at it, also an inside day as well. If we look overseas at those markets that were open, we'll start with the Swiss market, look at Europe first, and here's Switzerland. And let's see what this one looks like. Now, I don't have a read on the volumes over there, but what I do like about this is that this held that swing point high last week in that same range. I've been looking at Switzerland as kind of the key tell in the European theater. I believe that they're behaving in such a way that this thing wants to break to the upside. And so I don't see anything today that changes that. Basically, it's just another inside bar, though. If we look at the CACs, because the CACs was open, let's see what that one looks like. And that's an over-under though. So, and we probably had a lighter volume today, so we may see some sideways move in those markets. Over on the FTSE, you had a breakout happen today. That breakout was a good, solid one. And if we look at the weekly on it, that's over the top too. So it looks to me like the FTSE's starting to make a move. And of course, that's tied to the fact that the currency is being devalued. And it was down pretty big again today. Speaking of the currency, let's pop over and take a look at those. And the real news probably is going to be the currency when we get a larger move. Here's the euro, nothing there. Let's look at that British pound. I suspect they made new lows today. Yeah, it just dropped right out of bed today. Volume expands, breaks a swing point low. This thing wants to trade lower. Let's look at it on a weekly. Same thing. Let's pull over the monthly. And the monthly is just another leg down. So you have some pretty big ABCD structures. If we take, looks like we could take this 2, 3, looks like this, actually go all the way back to the high, it looks like. So what is that, 156 down to 135, so you're talking about 21 points. Tack that onto this, that takes you down to 24, and we're almost there. So actually it's almost through with an ABCD down on the month. So we're probably getting near some sort of a completion of this big leg to the downside. And once that's done, then maybe you go sideways for a while. There was news about a hard Brexit exit. There was a bunch of stuff today that pushed this down. So we'll have to see if it shakes out that way or not. I hadn't seen this monthly. That monthly is almost done, which makes me think that this might be where you just kind of throw out the last of those who are hanging on. One of the big things that people have been worried about is the financial sector. Now, Germany was closed today, and that's where the epicenter of the financial melt is taking place, so to speak. Didn't get much movement here in this index, which is an index of those currencies. Let's take a quick look at Japan. Got to keep watching this guy, trying to work lower with the dollar strength. As long as that stays inside the range, then we may see, we won't probably see any faster action. If it breaks out, then you got an issue. Gold does a little over, a little doji reversal here, kind of a pickaxe reversal. That looks like that one's going to try and trade a little higher tomorrow, which says that dollar probably is not going to be as strong. Finally flipping over to silver. Silver had volume on the way down though. This one is so much more speculative than gold. Yeah, that one actually looks like it wants to trade lower. Oil, let's look at, we'll just look at the USO. I was looking at the WTI today, the futures, and just like here, they're getting ready to break out on a weekly time frame. And so the oil market is definitely trying to work its way higher. I don't know that there's anything else that important to discuss. I think the big news will be, what does Germany do tomorrow? And then how does the U.S. react to whatever it's going to react to? So in summation today, this evening, it looks to me like, we're just playing a waiting game here. And the wait is to see it break over this. Now, remember, you've already got breakouts over swing point highs on the NASDAQ, on the NDX. The Russell has gotten over its breakdown bar. And this one has, but hasn't been able to hold it so far. They keep testing it. And what I'm talking about is this bearish, it's the breakdown bar, which happens to be coinciding here with this bearish retest regenerate. Keeps testing up here. Got over it one time. When you get over it once, you're probably going to come back and try it again. That's what it keeps doing. Going to probably get over it, whether it's this week, next week, week after. It's hard to put a time on it right now. But the fact that the others have already done it and that this keeps showing the positive action suggests to us that what's going to happen neoclassically is this is also going to follow the others higher, and that's what you should be banking on. Have yourself a great one. I'll see you next time. Good night.